In this standard, you're going to learn how to factor trinomials. Now, you've already factored using the greatest common factor. Now you're going to learn how to factor a trinomial. These are called easy trinomials, and in the next lesson, you're going to learn how to factor hard trinomials. Before we factor, let's remember how to multiply two polynomials together. I'm going to do one example. X plus 3 times x plus 7, x squared plus 7x plus 3x plus 21. Combine and you get x squared plus 10x plus 21. Now in this standard, you will be given this and you will be working backwards to get this. Unmultiply is what we're going to call it. To factor a polynomial is to unmultiply. When we multiply two binomials, we either end up with a trinomial or a special binomial. How to start? How do we start with our answer and undo it? First, we need to determine what type of polynomial we are factoring. If it is a binomial, it is the difference of two squares. Knowing if the polynomial is a binomial or a trinomial will help us determine what our answer needs to look like. Factoring guidelines. Step 1. Look at the last sign of the polynomial. This tells you if the signs in your factors are the same or different. If it is a positive symbol, the signs of the factors are the same. If it is a minus symbol, the signs of the factors are different. Step 2. If the last sign of the polynomial is a minus sign, then one of the factors will have a positive sign and the other will have a minus sign. The larger factor will have the same sign as the first sign of the polynomial. If the last sign of the polynomial is positive, then look at the first sign of the polynomial. Both signs of the two factors will have the same sign as the first sign of the polynomial. This will make a lot more sense when I start doing the examples. Step 3, find the factors of the last term, the constant. Which two factor pairs add or subtract to give you the middle term? Let me rephrase that. You're going to look at the constant. And you're going to find all the factors that multiply to give you that. Those two factors have to add up or subtract to give you the middle term. Write your factors inside of two sets of parentheses and then factor each polynomial. Okay? So now, I'm not going to do all these examples. I'm going to do this one first. X squared plus 8x plus 15. X squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay, so both are positive, so that means both of my factors need to be a positive. Now, I'm going to list out all the factors of 15. 1, 15, 3, and 5. 1 plus 15 does not equal 8, but 3 plus 5 does equal 8. So I'm going to unmultiply this by this. This way, x squared plus 5x plus 3x plus 15. Now, right here, it does not matter how I write where I put the 5, where I put the 3. No matter what, I'm going to get the same answer if I have the two factors that I need. Now that I have x squared plus 5x plus 3x, I'm going to put parentheses around the two parts. Now I'm going to pull out the common factor. The common factor of x squared and 5x is x. That's going to be x parentheses x plus 5 plus common factor of 3x and 15 is 3. So the 3 will come out and that will leave x plus 5. This right here tells you if you did it right. These two parentheses should be the same. If they are not the same, you did something wrong. Go back and try it again. Now, whatever's on the outside of the parenthesis, that's going to be your first parenthesis, and that's going to be x plus 5. So x squared plus 8x plus 15 is equivalent to x plus 3 parentheses x plus 5. Now, you can always go back and check your work. Next, I'm going to do x squared minus 9x plus 20. As you may see, The constant is a positive, but your middle term is a negative. So what does that mean? Think about that for a second. What does that mean? That means your two middle terms are both going to be negative because a negative times a negative is a positive. Now, list out all the factors of 20. 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 add up to be 9. Now remember, both of these need to be negatives. X squared minus 4x minus 5x plus 20. Remember, see it off. Pull the x out, x minus 4. Pull the 5 out, the negative 5, and I get negative 5x minus 4. My answer is x minus 5 parentheses x minus 4. My next problem I want to do, x squared minus x minus 20. As you may notice, both terms have a minus symbol. That means one of the terms is going to be a positive and the other is going to be a negative. List out all the factors of 20 again. 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Now, you got to think to yourself, you are subtracting here. 20 minus 1 is 19, 10 minus 2 is 8, 5 minus 4 is 1. Now, also, you have to think about which is going to be the positive and which one's going to be a negative. Well, in this case, this is negative, so your bigger term needs to be the negative. So that means x squared minus 5x plus 4x minus 20. X minus 5. Pull out the positive 4. X minus 5. That becomes x plus 4 times x minus 5. Let's do this one. X squared minus 9. As you can tell, there is not a middle term. But your C value is a negative. So now let's list out the factors of 9. 1 and 9, 3 and 3. If your B value cancels out, that means this has to be the opposite of this. X squared plus 3, x minus 3x minus 9. And I get x minus 3 times x plus 3. Now, when these terms are opposites, if they are ever the opposite, that means you will not have a B value. My last example. Two x to the third power plus 48x squared plus 288x. Now, you cannot do the way we've always done it. So if you get to a problem like this, the first thing you need to do is pull out the common factor. In this case, the common factor would be 2x. 2x is going to go on the outside of the parenthesis, and then I rewrite. This will be x squared plus 24x plus 144. Now I can do the method that I've been doing. I list out all the factors of 144. 1 and 144 2 and 72. And I could keep going, but it's going to end up being 12 and 12. X squared plus 12x plus 12x plus 144. Now parenthesis that off. As you can tell, they're all x plus 12. So what this is going to be is 2x, parentheses, x plus 12 squared.